Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader Dreadnought suits. Dreadnought suits usually stand between 3 and 4 meters tall. It is possible to manufacture even larger suits, but it is doubtful whether the gain in physical aura compensates for the inevitable loss in mobility. The wearer, or pilot, sits in an enclosed cockpit, usually contained in the midsection of the suit. His arms and legs do not fit into the robotic limbs themselves. Instead, the pilot crouches in a fetal position, suspended in proactive amniotic jelly. Information from the suit's sensors, vision, sound, and touch is fed directly into his consciousness by means of a spinal link. Impulses from the pilot are translated instantly into biomechanical instructions that move the suit's limbs and fire the suit's weapons. To the pilot, the suit feels and behaves just as if it were his own body, even though his real body remains inactive and senseless. The suit and the pilot exist in complete symbiosis that cannot easily be broken. Once accustomed to the suit's functions and senses, it is very hard for the pilot to readapt to normal life. Trying to do so often causes severe mental damage. Dreadnought construction. Amidst the hammering of iron and the chanting of runes, the weapon shops of Mars turn out the Imperial Dreadnoughts to time-honoured and hallowed designs. The most enduring types are the Imperial Battle Armour classes, Contemptor, Deredeo, and Furibundus, whimsically known by the troops as Chuck, Eddy, and Fury. These war machines are built for the Imperial armies and Space Marine chapters. Many find their way into private armies of Imperial commanders. Marine dreadnoughts are commonly modified by the purchasing chapter in order to meet the unit's specific needs. Some chapters even go into the trouble of building their own dreadnoughts, but most rely upon the legendary construction skills of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The power transmission is also varied, but the most common systems used are hydroplastics covered with powered actuators. These operate the weapon systems and other minor facilities throughout the machine. Limb manipulation is achieved by electrically motivated fiber bundles, which function much like muscles, contracting and retracting to drag the Dreadnought's huge bulk forward. The shell of the Dreadnought is made from tough Ceramide Moldings. Ceramide begins life as a thin white liquid which is injected into molds under pressure. The mold is gradually heated to 300 degrees and then allowed to cool. The molding is then both tough and durable. Imperial Dreadnoughts are further protected by armoured plates made from adamantium. This material is produced in the processing factories in orbit around Mars. Each wheel-shaped factory consists of a vast spinning centrifuge several kilometers across. The inside of the rim is maintained at a constantly high temperature by plasma held in place by magnetic fields. Only under these conditions is it possible to melt adamantium, so that it flows into moulding chambers built on the outside of the factory rim. Dreadnoughts can be fitted with a vast array of equipment, including targeters, suspensors, ejector seats, auto sensors, communicators, sensor packs, power fields, and even jump packs. There are 3 common ways to pilot the Dreadnought: with a driver, Imperial Mind Pulse technology, or being surgically implanted into the machine itself. With a driver, the pilot operates the Dreadnought by way of vision screen, with sensor readouts and some sort of manual control. Imperial Mind Impulse technology is rather unreliable. An alternative is to use surgery to merge the pilot to his Dreadnought's control system. This has all the advantages of Mind Impulse Link, but is far, far cheaper. The pilot is surgically implanted into his armoured capsule, suspended in a special amniotic fluid which sustains him for the remainder of his life. Once encapsulated in this way, the pilot becomes part of the machine and cannot leave unless the Dreadnought is damaged or destroyed. An ejector seat in this situation is of no use. The driver perishes along with his contraption. Dreadnoughts are extremely nimble for their size, and as a result have a plethora of unconventional attacks open to them. The Stomp. Using its mighty plasteel foot, the Dreadnought can crush lesser beings to pulp and bone fragments. Headbutt. The Dreadnought lurches forward with an almighty crack that can shatter a target to matchwood, but doing so damages the Dreadnought in the process. The Trip. Dreadnoughts often encounter other bipedal war machines on the field of battle and have been known to trip these mighty foes in combat. Bear Hug. The pilot, using the Dreadnought's enhanced mechanical strength, can crush the life from any unsuspecting victim. The three most common variants of the Imperial battle armour are the aforementioned Contemptor, Dreadnought and Furibundus classes. Of course, individual suits are often modified in the field to provide different weapons and equipment. Here are some examples of standard Imperial Dreadnought loadouts. Furibundus class, Destroyer Dreadnought, codenamed Fury. Control system, Spinal Link. Power plant, Crystal Battery. Armaments. The Furibundus class Dreadnought carries a standard armament of 2 bolt guns synchronized to fire simultaneously, and 1 las cannon. Each limb has its own targeting system. Equipment. The Furibundus class Dreadnought carries a standard sensor package, a power field, and power field synchronizer. Contemptor class, Close Assault Dreadnought, codenamed Chuck. Control system, Spinal Link. Power plant, Crystal Battery. Armaments. The Contemptor class Dreadnought carries a standard armament of 4 bolt guns, 2 built into each upper limb, synchronized to fire at the same time. A targeter program is included as a mental program. Equipment. The Contemptor class Dreadnought carries a standard sensor package, a jump pack, a single power field, and a power field synchronizer. Dreadnought class. Attack Support Dreadnought, codename Eddy. Control system, Spinal Link. Power plant, Crystal Battery. Armaments. The Dreadnought class Dreadnought carries a standard armament of 1 bolt gun and 1 missile launcher. Each limb has its own targeter program. It carries both frag and crack missiles. Equipment. The Dreadnought class Dreadnought carries a standard sensor package, 2 power fields and a power field synchronizer. To conclude, Dreadnoughts are extremely deadly and dangerous, and are packed with the finest weapons and armour the 41st millennium has to offer. These metal behemoths should be treated with extreme caution, whether friend or foe. Did you like this video? Is there any rogue trader lore you'd like to be covered? Which is your favourite Dreadnought, 1st or 2nd edition? Answer these questions in the comments below. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell.